Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me over here. So I'm Duncan. I'm from CryptoBLK as well as the Abelian project. So today what I'm going to do is to have a very high level but a little bit technical overview about what we are up to right now, what's the latest trend in terms of technology, public blockchain, and also a little bit about what we are currently working on. So speaking of the title over here, it's being assigned to me. The organizers would like me to talk about some of the different aspects of blockchain before diving into my favorite topic, which is quantum safe. So what I'm trying to do over here is that we start from very general features of blockchain and what kind of things that we are trying to overcome, we are trying to do the improvement when we are talking about the blockchain technology. It's not working. So I would like to forward to the next slide.
Please wait. Our technical team is working on it right now. So we want to move on to the next slides.
Yep.
OK. All right, it's working now.
Yeah, OK, thanks. So when we talk about the blockchain technology, we usually think in these three areas: the scalability, the security, as well as decentralization. So when we talk about scalability, we are really just talking about the performance in simple form. For example, like usually I've been asked, say, how many TPS, how many transactions per second? Right? That's about scalability. But actually, scalability means a lot more than just the transaction per second. We are also sometimes talking about how much data that we can put within a block. Or basically, nowadays, some of the blockchain systems, they basically throw away the concept of block by just streaming information into it. So that's more advanced, but the traditional blockchain systems are talking about the scalability, the TPS. The other area is about security, which is basically the underlying assumption is that we have a very secure system. When we talk about security, we are also talking about whether it is secure against hackers' attacks, or another one is that whether it has any security issues, for example, whether it is vulnerable to 51% attack, or even sometimes we are talking about 33% attack. And then the decentralization is really about the robustness. So first of all, let's just talk about the scalability and see what kind of most popular trends that we have. So when we talk about like Bitcoin, Ethereum, we know that the scalability is really an issue. We will not be able to support a lot of applications there. And that's why, as we can see, there are really a lot of projects that they have been putting a lot of effort to improve that. For example, we use layer 2. We use some zero knowledge rolled up. We even have some specialized protocols, for example, Lightning protocols, to just improve the performance of one particular application. So there are just so many different kinds of approaches. And nowadays, we can say that the zero knowledge rolled up or zero knowledge proof systems is probably the most promising part in terms of the scalability. dilemma, the decentralization as well as the security. So that's why usually what we are seeing is that we use those upper layers for the scalability part, and then we focus on the decentralization as well as security for layer 1. But speaking of security and decentralization, we are also seeing some of the major issues, not just for POS, but also for POW. So for example, for POS, the proof of stake, like the Ethereum, we are already seeing that, say, just from one entity like Lido, it's just 1% close to 33% of the entire control of this POS protocol on Ethereum. What it means is that once you reach 33%, then that particular entity can basically delay the finality. So which means we can slow down the system, we can basically make some of the transactions not going to reach the finality, not going to be confirmed by just one single entity. And if you have more entities work together, so-called collude together, and get 50% of the total control, then we can basically so-called censor the network, which means those entities can selectively choose which transaction to be confirmed, which transaction not to be confirmed. Right? So that's kind of like a disaster. And if you have just a few more entities collude with each other, then basically we can just bring all the users to a new chain by arbitrarily forking the system. So decentralization is very important, and which is also closely related to the security of the system. So how to make the system more decentralized and also to make it more secure? And this is actually the challenge that we need more innovation. So maybe some of you may say, hey, let's go back to POW. We sacrifice the performance or scalability a little bit because we can actually improve the performance on layer 2, right? But actually, if we look into the blockchain system nowadays, just a few entities, they are actually controlling more than 50% of the computational power. But we are still pretty lucky because if you look at the first two main mining pools, they are kind of playing against each other. I'm not seeing like in the very near future that they are going to collude, right? Put aside all the political reason. But speaking of that, we have no idea whether they are going to work together behind the scenes, so-called. And in order to make it more decentralized, even for POW, we need to be more innovative. So some of the folks in the industry are talking about, hey, let's just break up the camps between ASIC resistant and ASIC friendly. Let's come up with a new proof of work system which can support both ASIC resistant and ASIC friendly miners. If we will be able to do that, we might be able to create multiple miners, some of mining pools, and some of the mining pools are ASIC resistant, and some of the mining pools are attracting miners that are ASIC friendly. So that's one of the innovative parts that the industry, the technical teams are working on. So the next part I would like to share with you about the innovation is about how to make the systems resistant against attacks from quantum computers. So as we can see in the last few years, there's been a lot of effort put onto how to build systems which can be more advanced than the conventional computers. For example, like Google, some of the national labs in the States as well as in mainland China and Europe, they are all working so hard on building quantum computers. And then by making use of quantum computers, we can actually hack against existing crypto systems in a pretty relatively easy way. So recently we have been seeing predictions like if you have 50 qubits of a quantum computer, you will be able to break most of the systems, including almost all the blockchain systems available nowadays. And the algorithm that we are currently making use of to break Bitcoin, for example, is invented by Shor back to 1994, 30 years ago. That actually Shor has been thinking about how to make use of Bitcoin's superposition entity to break the so-called elliptic curve cryptography in a very efficient way that we call it the polynomial time. So by making use of Shor's algorithm, and as we can build a quantum computer which has 50 qubits, then we can actually break Bitcoin in a matter of several hours, within one day. So recently, we have been working on this project called Abelian. And Abelian, we actually started back to 2018. I myself, as a cryptographer, we have been working on this since when I was doing my PhD. And I have been working on this for years until back to 2022. We finally came up with the idea about how to build a quantum-safe blockchain. And this Abelian system is used for creating, we call it a digital gold 2.0, which means it's for store value. It's not just quantum safe, but actually it can also provide privacy preserving. So as we know, very recently, Vitalik also talked about how to upgrade Ethereum to quantum safe. And in his idea, what he's trying to do is to create a bridge. And in that bridge, we are just trying to bridge every single non-quantum safe wallet to quantum safe. And in fact, last year, back to May, I also wrote a paper. I call it the yellow paper. And I published it on the Abelian website, and which basically gave a same idea about how to make use of Abelian as the foundation. And then we built a bridge to upgrade Ethereum to quantum safe. So we are still working on it. But for the time being, you may check out this Abelian project, and you can download the mobile app, and you can start enjoying this quantum-safe blockchain right now. All right, so today, my main purpose over here is to share the two main areas that for the tech teams of the blockchain industry is working on. The first one is more imminent one, which is about zero-knowledge proofs. And by the way, we are also working on quantum-safe zero-knowledge proof. The second one is this Abelian, and I believe this is going to be the digital gold 2.0. And on top of it, we are also building an ecosystem with the EVM equivalent smart contract that we can run it and also ensure the quantum safe. All right, so thank you very much for listening to my sharing. Thank you.